All right. I want to do this. Can I do this? Oh, I guess they're not going to work right now.
Will they be able to still hear me? Yeah, they can hear us.
Oh, yeah.
On my live? Okay, cool.
Yep, for sure. Well, hey, everybody. Looks like we're live. This is Grove Sessions. My name is Rick Coughlin, CEO and co-founder of Grove Studios, and I am here with Kenyatta Rashon. We just premiered her and her band's video on Facebook and YouTube, so if you caught that, that was an amazing performance. If you didn't catch it, go back to the videos later on. It's your homework.
That's right.
It's Friday night, unless you're working, we know you ain't got shit to do. So get back there and watch that. Put it on some nice speakers. The audio's incredible. Shout out to Tim Blackman for the video work.
Yeah.
And Taylor Greenshields from Fundamental Sound Company for the audio.
That's my
Absolutely,
dog.
yeah. So I'm excited. I'm glad that we got to do this finally.
I know, right?
This was postponed last time. I forget what even happened. I think it was me.
It was a lot going on.
There was things going on.
We had
so
to charge it to the game.
Right. So welcome again. Kenyatta is familiar with this place because you rehearse here with your band
all the time,
and we appreciate that. And it was awesome to finally see you perform out in the courtyard. It was a hell of a performance.
Thank you.
Your band is awesome. You're
Shout out
awesome.
24 hours. What's up, guys?
That's right. 24/7. You can jam and be loud anytime you want. Nobody bothers you. So we like that. There's so many things I could start on. This is just more conversational than anything, but it was cool seeing you perform. You guys bring your A game. What impresses me is just the professionalism. When I see a band just really just come in and kill it. But you've been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
Goes back to what? When you were 16, 14? Where does the music come from? Because you've had some, and we're going to talk about this because there's some other stuff I want to bring up. But I always like to start out, let's talk about when did you decide music was going to be your thing?
So, actually, my first talent show was when I was 7 years old.
Nice.
And my teacher, my second grade teacher, she was very encouraging. And the school that I was at never really had a talent show. And she's like, we're going to put together this talent show. And at that time, Destiny Child just dropped their debut single, No, No, No.
Yeah.
And I'm 7 years old, and I'm coordinating rehearsals to do choreography with these other 7-year-old girls. And, once we performed, it was just like, whoa. I think my family, nobody even knew, wow, she really, she's 7, what's going on? And that performance just really gave me life. And ever since then, I was just trying to dibble and dabble into everything that was live or singing or acting or dancing. So
acting too.
Yeah.
You do theater?
Yeah. Yes. I
Nice.
was actually Adelaide and Guys and Dolls for all my theater geeks out there.
Nice.
That was crazy too, because that was my first audition to be in music theater. And
that's cool.
My drama teacher and my choir teacher encouraged me to audition. And while I was only a sophomore, amongst all the other senior girls who were born to do this, they had been practicing this part for months, and I got it. It was
nice.
What?
Nice. Wait, and how old were you then?
14 or 15.
Okay. That's funny. A lot of people don't know this, but I actually did theater too.
Nice.
And show choir.
See, that's where you kind of bring the two out. It's just blah.
Yeah.
Especially in high school.
Yeah.
That was my favorite part of high school, actually.
No, I wonder because I would get as a dude, I would get teased sometimes being in the show choir because we had these corny outfits and stuff on. We were called the Rainbow Connection. We were different colored bow ties and cummerbunds and stuff. It was real cheesy. Do girls tease each other like that?
No. That was actually a come up. For me, in high school, I actually dabbled into everything. The only thing I think I didn't do was play basketball, but I was just so well-rounded.
Yeah.
Our guys did get teased, though. The guys that were
if you play football and you're on the show choir, which was me, man, the locker room was hell. But
I know. You should have had some type of balance there. Like, you're the cool dude that's
yeah.
Like,
I mean, some of it was just like casual ribbing too. You know what I mean? It wasn't like
right.
super mean spirited, but it's still you're like, yeah, hey.
Yeah, that was fun though. I really enjoyed that part of my life.
So stage performance, right? Like that was a lot of the early stuff, and then of course, I mean, when did like the idea that you're gonna put a full band together and like front a band kind of thing? I mean, it's it's your band, but when did that come into play?
That was actually like my ultimate dream because I was always the back of somebody else's band.
Right.
God rest his soul, Mr. Michael Lewis was the first gentleman who actually put me in a band. I was getting my nails done here in Ypsi. I was maybe 20 or 19, and they overheard me humming. They was like, "Hey, we're looking for a singer."
Nice.
And at that time, I was brought in, but I was doing background stuff. I eventually worked my way up to be like the front person. I was working with Mr. Eddie Hughes, and from then I was just like, damn, I can do this by myself. How? But I continued to transition with other bands and teams because I felt comfortable at that point. But eventually I was able to break out of that and get the Kenyatta Rashon 24 hours thing going.
That's cool.
Yes, I love it.
Yeah, well, it shows when you're on stage. It looks like you're having fun, and I mean it's a great chemistry with the band. I mean, it's a tight band.
I went to high school with two of those guys. So two of those guys were the choir dudes that you were in high school. The keyboard player Ramon and Abe. We met. I was a freshman at the time; they were sophomores, but we were all in choir. We were all in the musical theater. And we reconnected maybe about 2 to 3 or 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. I was like, "Hey, are you guys doing anything?" The reason why we came up with our name was because there was a couple that was looking for performers, and they were like, "Hey, do you think you can get a band together?" First, they wanted me to use their band, which I was trying to, and these were young guys that were not responsible at all. And then I contacted Ramon, and he's like, okay, I can see what I can do. It may have been like Wednesday. The performance was Friday.
Oh, wow.
And that's where 24 Hours title came from.
That's a tight turnaround.
What? And we had to rehearse to learn the songs. It was crazy.
Well, you're working with good musicians then with that that kind of turnaround. So that's cool. So like I learned something that so you've got all this this performance experience, but I learned that you got to sing with Kanye West.
Oh, the Sunday services.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about that.
He was doing a tour, and I was like not doing anything. It was crazy. I was on my porch, and I was talking to myself about like what are some other things I can do to just like continue to build my platform. And my homegirl texted me, and she said, apply for this right now. Shout out to Chelsea, because she was like, apply to this right now.
Nice.
Like, I get online, I do it, and before I knew it, I was receiving emails, like real mysterious emails, like, meet here, don't tell anybody where you are.
Wow.
If you discuss where we are, you'll be removed. And I think the funniest part was like no cell phones. They were very serious about no cell phones and stuff like that.
I believe that.
But that day that we were at Shane Park? Oh, they call it the Aretha Franklin Amphitheater.
They changed the name. Yeah.
Such a vibe. It was very fun.
I like that they changed the name.
You do?
Well, I mean, I always knew it as Shane Park, but if you're going to change the name to something, you might as well change it to that.
Pay homage.
It is Detroit.
I was actually at her Christmas party. I was one of her assistants a few years back.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I was like, I got some incredible. Really cool gems under my belt.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I mean, that's amazing. And but that that also probably like that comes from some of your hustle, right? Like your ability to network and connect with people. Like you got to do that stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's not always what you know. It's also who you know.
Always who you know.
Yeah.
The what you know part is kind of out the window now.
Yeah.
Unless you just know what to say or how to say things.
Yeah.
Because that hustle part, my okay. Oh, I was wondering. I'm like, I kind of zoomed out for a minute.
Oh, right on.
But I was a brand ambassador for a while. So I would just be at these different high end events and parties and see different people and kind of make my way to communicate with them.
Yeah.
Mikey Eckstein, I met him. He's a very profound individual in Detroit. Yeah. So like the work.
What is a brand ambassador? What is a brand ambassador?
A brand ambassador does. So basically, I work for multiple companies, and I pretty much do what they need me to do. That's within reason. So there's been modeling, there's been bartending, there's been like serving.
Okay. Yeah.
There's been performing.
Cool.
Very, very cool things, but you get paid a lot of money because it's like that.
Yeah.
Right before COVID hit, I was hired to perform at. He owned Motown. He started Berry Gordy's event. Nice. It was in March. I was supposed to perform at one of his events, and then COVID happened. I was like, "Oh, cut it down." Oh, yes,
man.
Yeah, it was sad.
So yeah, and that's a good that's kind of a good segue in a sense, because you were about to do this thing, and then COVID, and so it's been like 6 months, and we've all been kind of like weird and locked down, and we've been doing the performances here, obviously. Like, we were glad that you guys were able to do it. What else have you been working? I mean, I know you've got, you've got this latest single, and it was the profanity we were worried about when the kids were here.
Oh, right.
I could say fuck boy now.
Say fuck boy.
Yeah, I can say it now. I can swear.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and that's a great track.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's like every time we have a new artist on, I'm like building up my Spotify playlists and adding things so that they're like in the mix. But your stuff is definitely in the mix. What was your inspiration to make that track, and how can we all avoid being called fuck boys?
Well, my inspiration came from and my ladies, but my really close friends, they love me. I love them to death, but it was from being that friend sitting back and watching my girl go through the bullshit. I was just like, dude, like, I'm over it. I'm tired of hearing this. And then, when they finally get the courage to like get on and leave him alone, it was just like glory for them. Not even just me being looking at my friend like, I'm so proud of you. Yeah. But for them specifically, I'm like, yes. But I just wanted to take the time out to shout out the fuckboys. Like, they exist. and I'm not even being like sexist with it, because a fuckboy can be a female too. Right. It's just somebody that doesn't have another person who they cling to's best interest at heart. Yeah. That was my whole thing. Like, ugh.
Yeah.
So here's some tips to not be a fuckboy.
Yeah, I think, no, please go. Everybody listening.
Here's some tips to not be a fuckboy. 1, mean what you say and say what you mean. Yeah. Be very upfront with someone when you are not feeling them at the capacity that they may be feeling you.
No doubt.
And acknowledge that instead of just moving forward with however they feel about you. Because a lot of people get stuck there. Like, oh, I didn't want to break her heart, or I didn't want to do this. No, be honest. You'll save everybody some trouble.
That's that whole communication thing in a relationship. You got to like talk to each other and...
Yeah, figure it out. You got to use your thought processing accordingly, And then lastly, if you're going to talk to other people, or, you know what I'm saying, tell them. That's another thing. Like, be honest. Yeah. Be honest about your life, your lifestyle, whatever you choose to do. You'd be surprised how many people are like, oh, cool, I was wondering, because I do the same thing. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's only a few rules to not being a fuckboy.
Okay. I wonder if some of that, like, when people don't, they don't share those things, like, there's a piece of that that's like insecurity, where it's like,
very much
I'm not, but then when you're, you're insecure about it, and then you don't communicate, then that fucks everything up.
Yeah, insecurity is real too. Like, that's a personal problem that nobody can fix but the individual.
No doubt.
I'm sorry. I just got my degree in psychology too.
So look out. Yeah, that's going to inform some songs, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. It's getting real.
So Man, I mean, your story is already so cool, right? Like all these cool performance experiences that you've had, through doing the brand ambassador thing. There's this. Well, hopefully you get to maybe they'll reschedule the thing with Barry Gordy and
Oh, I
and
hope
all
so.
that. Yeah, because that sounds great.
I was just walking singing like.
Yeah, I bet.
Maybe with a 2-step or something like.
Yeah. So obviously that changed a bunch of stuff. So what else? What have you guys been working on? What have you been?
So me and actually, I'll actually go through a timeline. So this Sunday, I'll be performing for the Big Brother Big Sister of America.
Nice.
That'll be airing at on Comcast about 6:00.
Cool.
On channel 900.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's what's coming up now. And then I'm actually getting ready to drop another single. I've been performing it, and we're actually shooting a music video for it.
Nice.
So my team is like, yeah, let's do singles. Let's not drop any EPs or albums or anything yet.
Yeah.
So that'll be my next plan of motion.
Very cool. What is that? So for the video and what's the track that you do?
You Make Me Feel Better.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's YMMFB. Fun fact, my twin brother wrote half of it.
Nice.
Yep.
You like to do a lot of like collaborative kind of songwriting? I mean, is that how you work? I mean, what's the process like with the band? Do you bring something pretty finished to them, or is it just kind of
much?
Okay.
They're so busy, so it's kind of hard. We got to really set a time to do like some writing and collabing on something straight instrumentation and not like brought from the studio. Then we have to re-instrumentize it, So right now, once I get these singles out and on autopilot, then we like when it gets colder outside, it's us and them, and we're just making up different songs and things. Yeah.
It's a lot of co-writing, collaboration kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Very cool.
Keyboard player writes a lot. He wrote one of my songs on my previous album, C'est la vie. Yeah, La C'est la vie.
Nice.
He wrote a song on there, and like I said, that's when we first started reconnecting.
Yeah.
But now, moving forward, I
love
found my
that.
sound. It's different. I'm ready to do some different things now.
That's cool. I mean, you'd get bored doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, we're evolving.
I mean,
things are not the same anymore.
If I was in a punk band, for 20 years, I mean, I guess that works for some people,
Yeah. I actually been to a punk band concert, and I love them.
Yeah.
I love them. I've been in a mosh pit on accident. I got hit. I was like, whoa, I'm in the wrong spot. It's not where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah. I tried the mosh pit thing out. That was when I was younger.
Yeah, you gotta really have some thick skin for that.
Yeah, and at some point I was like, you know what? I'm all set with that.
Yeah, it's like an experience. Cool. You can live to tell it.
For sure. I think the scariest kind of like, well, it wasn't like, I don't know if it was a mosh pit, but it was, this will date me, but it was like, it was it was like the first it was the second Lollapalooza. When they had it at Milan Dragway.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody remembers that, but there were some huge acts there, like Fishbone, like Alice in Chains, God, I don't know, Arrested Development, like this is huge. But like at one point, the whole crowd, like there was a lot of people all kind of packed in by the stage, and the whole crowd started like swaying, and you got pinched in there, and you realized how like people can get trampled in large crowds because it's like you can't get out, like because there's just so many people.
It's so scary to me.
Yeah, I think that was one of the last times I got too close to where things were going to start getting nuts. So
gotcha.
Yeah, I'll pass.
Real life claustrophobia kicking on your
Yeah, big time. That's the first time I experienced what claustrophobia feels like. So I was like out after that. But so okay, so we have new music to look forward to. You were talking about you guys are working on video right now. Mm-hmm. The video production is awesome. So is this the same crew or person that's doing all?
I like to work with different people.
Yeah.
Just to check out everybody's different ways of doing things. I never work with a videographer that does not approach me with a treatment.
Yeah.
A treatment. I think my very first music video was just like some humbug stuff, but shortly after that, like Push. Push was shot by Silent. Shout out to Silent. Very good videographer. He actually recently just shot a video for Big Sean.
Okay.
Crazy. I was like, whoa, huge. I could say I work with that guy.
That's awesome.
Know? So he recently did that, and that was my first treatment. I was just like, oh, I could see everything like paved out.
Right.
I seen exactly what was supposed to happen, when, and it was cool. So
professional, very professional.
Yeah.
Well, it shows up in the end result, right?
Exactly.
I mean, like All Gone, for example, right?
Oh yes.
I mean, it's like a full feature film. Like,
I know.
What was that process like?
Man, shout out to Jason Gaines, Lone Visionary, because I sent him the song and I asked him. I said, "Can you help me with this music video? This is a really good friend of mine. They do a lot of video work." He's like, "Yeah." He sat on it for about a week, and he said, "Meet me at the it's like a Coney spot in Detroit that's vegan."
Oh yeah.
So we go there, we sit down. I never had this place before, and I'm eating it. I'm like, wow, this is really good. He pulls out this laptop with literally a visual of the entire video. To see the visual now and to see the actual video, I'm just like appalled that we was able to pull that off.
Yeah.
It came out really, really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah, it did.
I love it. That's like one of my favorite videos too. And I'm like, dang, and I love the acting portion of music videos. Like, it just
right. Well, you're bringing all those things together. I mean, it like seems obvious, right? But you know, some people, you know, like eschew the kind of video stuff. But these days, you got to have that kind of content.
You need that content. You need
to be
especially
creative. To be taken seriously, right?
Yeah, the creative side of music videos is what's going away.
Yeah.
It's like people are just waking up, which is cool too, because I do see humbug stuff turn out to be extremely creative. But when you actually sit down and put it together for it to come out how it does, like, it's just like on top of the world.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, it's strong stuff. It's always nice to see someone like locally that's putting content out that's that high quality too. Because it's time consuming. It can be expensive. I mean, it's all of those things, but it's like also the first thing that people are going to see when your stuff gets out there, right?
Yep, the very first thing. I think I also have a music video called Gold. I don't know if you ever seen that. That was shot by Ashanti Africana, and I asked her to just like go crazy with the animation.
Amazing.
It was exactly what I wanted it to be. So I can't say. I would say the only music video that I'm like, where did that go? Put it away. It's my very first one. But you know, that's how you learn. So every video after that has definitely set the tone. I worked with a guy named Nutty. I featured my boyfriend in the video. It was so cool. It was so early. We was young. I had like a full choreographed routine with about 10 girls. Crazy. Like, I've really been doing this.
So, like, what, like, after, you know, working on with all these different videographers and all of that, I mean, what are some takeaways? Like, if you were, you know, somebody's listening that, you know, they're looking at your content and going, I want to do that.
Yeah. What's
some advice that you'd give them for, you know, working with videographers or, like, you know, finding them? I mean, I think some people they might not have the network, you know, necessarily that you have. Like, what do you do? You
know what? First things first is to do your research. So everybody's quality is different. So you need to see, like, what exactly are you trying to convey with your music video? And are they the person that's going to be able to deliver that?
Right.
I like using hashtags because hashtags will pull up kind of like the coolest things. The coolest things. Hashtags are life. And,
did you find some of these people
hashtags?
That you
No, but I can say that I found out. I found my. It's weird. I had my hair. I got my hair done in Alabama using a hashtag. But for the different art that I want to see, I'll hashtag music video or something, and I'll see like, oh, okay, they got the fire, they got the green screen. This is kind of what I want. So once I start researching in the more Detroit metropolitan area, FC Ann Arbor, you know, seeing other people's videos and looking at like, okay, who delivered that? Like, I do a lot of research.
Yeah.
Next thing is to do to have a meeting. have a meeting with those individuals and
Right.
just make it real casual. Like, hey, can you
For
meet
sure.
me at a bar? Or,
Yeah,
you know,
just to
something
see
real
if you
cool.
even get along, right? You got to have vibe with somebody.
Gotta
If you're gonna
vibe.
work with
That
them,
was my next thing.
Yeah.
You gotta have a good vibe with the individual
Yeah.
because you know
100%.
you don't know what that just because the video looked like this online. You know
Right.
what type of director are they? Are they
Yeah.
a cool director? Are they like the person that's yelling at you? And
Yeah.
you know what do
Or
you
are they
need?
super awkward where like you
They
just
don't
feel
even talk.
uncomfortable? Right,
Oh,
right.
it's so weird to me. I've been in situations like that where
No doubt.
but next thing is what I got a really kind heart, so I don't usually go this route, but I would strongly suggest this to people: contracts.
Yeah.
Get a contract, man.
I think you're right.
That it's hard to work with people just because now.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in a situation now where I'm sitting here like just nails on a chalkboard waiting for some video footage from like almost a year ago. So
Yeah.
get a contract. You know, be ready to be in those.
I think it's fair too. I think it's fair, right? Like we're just trying to make sure that we're taking care of each other in this professional relationship.
Exactly.
You gotta,
that's the first word.
Yeah.
The first word is professional.
Yeah. I mean, if somebody balks at a contract, then you kind of already know where you stand. That's my take. You know what I mean? If somebody asks me to sign something for work that I owe them or whatever, then
it sets the tone.
Yeah.
You got to deliver at that point. And if you don't, then I'll sue you.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. Yeah.
I
right?
mean, like
we don't want to sue you, but
yeah,
you know,
in the event
it says here.
So here we are.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And that's fair because there's money exchanging hands. There's time exchanging. You know what I mean?
Money. Space and opportunity, man.
Yep. No, I think that's really smart advice. Listen to that out there.
Yeah, guys.
For sure. I mean, you know, that's like going back to the whole professionalism thing. And then just kind of sliding out of the video thing, but going back to some of the tracks and getting into the music a little bit. Another track is Yo-Fi.
Ooh.
I mean, the singing,
My
the
baby.
lyrics, production, engineering. I mean, it's incredible. What was the process of making that song?
Man.
Where did you record it? How did you record it?
Shout out to the workshop and Mello, my man Mello.
The workshop, that's...
That is located off E-Course. It is in Ypsi.
Yeah.
It
sounded familiar. I just wanted to make sure I had the right thing.
That's my home studio.
Cool.
I typically work with Mello. Mello and Drew are the main engineers and producers there.
Yep.
And me and Mello was in the studio one day, and he had played the beat for me. I was like, wow. Mm-hmm. Like, that's so heavy. I don't know what it is about this song, but I just really feel so drawn to it.
Yeah.
And we call this cigarette break. He goes out, smokes. I don't know what happens, what magic is in that cigarette, but he came back, and he just had these lyrics. And from that point on, we were just vibing. Nice. And we were able to record it, like, right then and there, like, everything.
I love when a song comes together like that.
Yeah.
Right? Like when it's just almost like almost like the song was already there. You just had to like capture it and bring it in kind of thing.
The energy just pulled the lyrics onto us. And that's really my baby. I actually pulled it because we want to, we have a remix. I had a female rapper reach out to me. Shout out to Q. She was like, hey, I love this song, and I wrote to it. I want to know if we can collab on it.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Yeah, where are you? Come now.
Nice.
So I'm going to re-release it as a single with just myself and then her as a feature, and then we're going to shoot the video and just deliver it as like an entire package. Super
cool.
Yeah, I love that song.
Love it.
Love that song.
Love it. I love how collaborative you are, and that's my personal favorite part.
Yeah.
Right. Like I've never been a solo artist or a songwriter. Well, I dabbled.
Okay.
But I'm a guitar player, and I found myself going down that road. But the thing that I always loved was the collaboration. I love being in a band with other people. I love the creative. You know, I love working with engineers and producers who, you know what I mean. They have a vision and I don't know. It's just very cool. It's very cool.
I wasn't really that person before. I kind of just was like, you know what? I take that back. I've actually always been a collaborative person, but I've always been concerned about who I'm working with because I never knew who to really trust. Are you going to be able to help deliver this? Are we going to be able to vibe? Like,
Right.
I'm always concerned about those things, but realistically, I'm always ready to take a chance.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, guys, you want to do this?
Nice.
Oh,
Well, you got to take a chance in especially in this business, right?
yeah, buddy.
Got to be willing to take a risk. It's worth it because you never know what you're going to end up with.
You know, my brother, me having a twin, kind of helped too.
Yeah.
Us growing up, we were a little different with each other because he was very protective. I was like rebellious. I did like everything the boy probably should have been doing, but as we gotten older, he started to realize like, man, my sister's really talented. I'm like, yeah, you're super talented too, but he's more like the back end. I'm like more of the front end.
Sure.
So we figured out how to make it work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
like
that's
another fun fact, he wrote a portion of All Gone.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the boy kid, he's really good. He's really
Yeah.
good, but you see his life. He's like, you know, I just want to be a dad. Just want to be a cool dad.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. That is cool.
Yeah.
And who knows? You know, it's like you can always do something later on when you're done doing that. I know a lot of people that have kind of done that. Like they did a thing for a while and then they like got heavy back into music.
Yeah,
You know?
I love to see it. I
Yeah,
love to see it.
For sure.
I told him we got this joke. I tell him he's Ray J. I'm Brandy. Like, let me just do the Brandy thing, and then I'll let you know when it's your Ray J time.
Yeah. Nice. I love it. Do you have like lots of musical family in like extended family and stuff? I mean, is it kind of or are you guys kind of like the first generation of?
We're the first public generation. My family, we're like in-house musicians. When the music comes on and it's all of us just together, we like to dance.
Yeah.
We like to cheer each other on. I'll be the one singing. I have a cousin. Her name is Nikki.
Yeah.
She always had a voice of an angel. She will be singing.
Cool.
And then recently, within the last maybe 3 years or so, we met my dad's side of the family. And they're all music, like they're all singers.
Wow.
Every single one of them. Like it's like there's a profound gospel singer. Her name is Shirley Caesar.
Mm-hmm.
My dad's sister is her like right hand. It was like, whoa. So
Crazy.
that was kind of the missing piece to my entire like musical background. That was so cool to me. Like everybody, they all sing. I'm like, okay, I see where I get it from.
And so you didn't necessarily know that growing up. Is that?
No.
That's wild.
I was
Yeah.
more familiar with my mother's side. My dad was more like he grew up kind of just him and his mom. So once I actually did the investigation to find his father, and we were able to just like go meet them and have this reunion, and
That's cool.
and then to find that out, I was like, what?
Yeah.
This is the missing piece.
It's so funny because it's like you wonder what part of your being is based on like just some genetic stuff that's coming through you, where it's like, what are the chances? You know what I mean? If you we didn't spend much or any time with that part of the family, and then you meet them for the first time. I have a very similar story. In fact, like, a biological father that I never knew, and then 2 half brothers, and when I finally met him, I was like, "Whoa, this is crazy." One of them said, guitar player and a musician, and I was just like, "Wow,
that's crazy."
It's kind of mind blowing.
It just found its way through your genetic pool.
Yeah.
So cool.
And like you, I mean, definitely like musical family, so I can relate to that. It's almost like I couldn't escape it, probably in some ways.
Yeah, I hear that too.
But it's like one of the best things in my life, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like to be able to do music as a part of your life is incredible at any level, right?
Any level. It's such a vibe. I never had a bone in my body that was just like give up. Like from even wherever I am, like every little goal or that I accomplish or meet, I'm just like, bet, okay, what's next?
Yep.
I've never felt like discouraged or anything. I do sometimes get to a point where I'm like a little frustrated because I hate working with people that you can't work with.
Yeah.
I'm finding that out each and every day. But
for sure.
Besides that, like music is life. Music is life. Music is my life, and I just know it deep down in my spirit.
Yeah. Well, it certainly shows when you're on stage, and we're all really looking forward to like seeing what's next.
Oh, thank you.
It was eCurrent magazine not too long ago that said what you were. They said they were calling it early. Maybe that article was a little bit earlier in the year or something. But so you're one of the artists to watch in 2021.
Oh yes.
So
eCurrent.
I thought that was a cool shout out. You know, the Current has been around forever. I mean, I think ever since I moved to this area, that magazine's been around. So, you know, people read it, and I think it's an important publication in this part of Michigan, and I was happy to read that because I don't know, I guess I just agree. I think we should
Thank
be watching
you.
what's next.
Just great interview with Jeff Milo.
Yeah.
That too. Oh my God.
Oh, was
so
it was
cool.
that? Oh yeah, you're right. It was Jeff. Shout out to
Yeah,
Jeff
shout out
Milo.
to Jeff Milo.
Yeah, we appreciate. Man, Jeff's cool. He's
So cool.
he's got his just literal ear to the ground on the music scene in Michigan, and
I couldn't believe some of
Yeah.
the things he was asking me. It was as if like he sat down with my mom or something and was just like, okay, I'll be sure. I was just like, what?
yeah,
My best friend was in town and she was sitting there like, girl, wow, it was so crazy to me.
yeah,
That was a great interview.
yeah. He's a great interviewer. He's a great writer. Just great music critic. So when Jeff covers you, that's a really special
Good
thing
vibe.
for
Thanks,
sure.
Jeff.
Yeah. What about, okay, so you had like this pending gig at the Aretha Franklin Theater now, and that went away, but like you played some pretty cool venues. What's your favorite venue you played?
Ooh, favorite venue. Majestic Theater.
Yeah.
That was actually for a Halloween wedding.
Nice. Halloween
And-
wedding.
And the person that was getting married was they had some type of affiliation with Channel 4 News.
Okay.
So I'm performing and I look out and I see all these people from Detroit who tell me like, don't take this route because it's traffic, or it's gonna rain next week, or some unfortunate news. But it was just like so cool, and
Yeah.
it was huge. The stage was huge.
Yeah.
People were everywhere.
That's a great
Some of
stage.
my coolest performances have been for weddings and events. I have this video where I'm performing on stage, and what song was that? Don't Stop Believing was the song I was performing, and
Yeah.
everybody's wasted, but they see me on stage and they're just like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Yeah.
And then the part where we were chanting Don't Stop Believing, it was just like Hail Mary or something. It was so crazy. I had
Yeah.
so much fun. So
Like
much
that
fun.
connection with the audience is huge, right? When you get those moments where the audience is really
Yes.
digging it.
They their vibe, and then the after effect. I had a performance it was up north somewhere, and there was a guy that was in a wheelchair, and then there was this young lady who had been she had like Down syndrome. They were all just like, I love you.
That's
I
amazing.
love you.
Yeah.
I love you. And I'm just like, I'm nobody.
Right.
I'm just Kenyatta. I just performed.
But to them, like, you do something that they can't do or they don't do, and it's like
they were just
you're a rock star.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
exactly.
Yeah.
People in general just like afterwards which is my point. Like when I'm performing, I just want to give you a vibe. I want to give you some type of sense of hope of anything.
For sure.
I don't even know what you were going through that day, and
Right.
once you see me perform, you're just like, damn,
Yeah.
thank you. That was
Yeah.
awesome. I needed that.
Because it takes your mind off of things, I mean, I think that's part of the service of musicianship is
The service.
taking people out of the regular day to day and having this experience that's outside of that.
Right.
And I know just like as a music fan, I appreciate that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Even though I'm
same
a
here.
musician and I've been doing the thing for many, many years, but in some ways it seems like sort of a ordinary thing that we do. But to those who don't do it or don't, have an interest in it, but they love music or they love performances and stuff like that, it's it's an important piece
Yeah.
of their life.
I like how you said the service of a musician because
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? It's unspoken of. We just really just go with the flow. We leave our hearts on the stage.
Yeah.
You know, and then in the midst of that, we probably just gained another fan or a fram. I call them frams. But we need to gain another fram, and you know,
I love
now
it. Fran.
I just loved it.
Yeah.
I just love it.
Yeah, I mean, so probably some of the coolest people you ever met was at a show.
Seriously.
You know, where you started talking to somebody after the show or before the show, and
network,
and then they come back, and it's an amazing thing. I think that we get to do. Mm-hmm. And no matter how small the stage is, or if it's in the corner of a room, or if it's the Majestic Theater or Aretha Franklin Theater, or
no matter what.
Yeah, you just bring it, and this was a small audience out here that we had. I mean, we're not allowed to have very many people,
right?
But,
which I was just excited to be out anyway. I'm like, thank
you.
no
doubt, no doubt.
We being a musician and being kind of cooped up and not having those opportunities that we're so used to.
Yeah,
it's just dude, this is torture for us.
It's rough.
Yeah,
it's rough.
Real torture.
Yeah, suddenly I mean, I think for the first month or so, I don't even know if I picked up a guitar, which was really weird.
I hear you. I was just what do we do?
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I started drinking like crazy. It was the only thing open is the liquor store.
I don't think you're alone. I think a lot of us did, and I also think years later they're gonna look back at I don't know. It'd be funny to see some kind of statistics about how much.
Alcohol was
how much booze really got sold in the last 6 months.
That was the only thing that could be done during the beginning of the pandemic. Yeah. Literally the only thing.
Yeah. I ate more snacks too, I think.
Oh, don't even get me started on that.
I had to go into a personal weight loss mindset because I stepped on the scale one day and I was like, oh, okay.
Oh.
That's what happened. Honey roasted peanuts. That's the problem.
Oh, gosh. Switch it up.
But I feel at least, I mean, this isn't over, and obviously we still have some time to go. But I think it's been interesting because it has changed some things about the music industry, and the live streaming thing is becoming more and more. It was there before, but do you think? I've seen a lot of bands do really creative stuff where they start their own show, but they're not just doing music. On Wednesday it's the bass player in his kitchen teaching people how to cook, or just crazy stuff where they've just gone off and started doing all this random stuff.
Yeah, you have to. That's the main thing that I learned right now. You got to keep it fresh.
Yeah.
Being a musician during quarantine is like being in a new relationship. You got to keep it new.
That's true.
I'm still getting the hang of it because I'm just I kind of got lost in the sauce. I'm like, whoa, I'm used to being right in front of people all the time. I'm not used to, what I'm saying, this, being live and seeing who's watching. All that stuff was just very, very new to me. So it was a transition. It was such a transition.
Yeah. It was I mean, we weren't even, we had always planned on doing this. In fact, we put this podcast studio together literally a week before the shutdown happened.
Wow.
And we had one podcast in here, and then we were shut down. We couldn't, and we were like, oh man, okay. Everybody get a microphone. Yeah. Plug it into your computer. We're going to Zoom.
Man.
But I'm glad that we can
Zoom made a lot of money this
oh man. I thought I saw a statistic somewhere. It was crazy. I mean, it was they quadrupled the number of people or something. Yeah, they
imagine them, the creator, I'm gonna do this virtual thing, and it's not having so much traffic, and then just boom,
crazy.
What Tim and Bezos, the Amazon guy,
and nobody else could step into that. Although the one thing I hate about Zoom is that we were trying to stream these performances through Zoom, so we had this seamless. Right after the interview, right after the performance, right into the interview, but they compress the shit out of the
visual,
the audio, and then
it looked crazy.
And then the video gets a little choppy. So now we're doing it this way, and which is cool because now this actually will just be a whole podcast that we'll be able to put on Spotify and iTunes and all that stuff. Yeah, so that's the plan. And the audio quality is controllable here. Sometimes, somebody's on Zoom and maybe they're using a laptop microphone or they got a bad connection and that's not usable for a real podcast. So
can you hear me? Did you hear me?
Right.
Did you hear that?
Right. Yeah, and you don't always see somebody's facial expression through the screen. Sometimes you're like, are they going to talk next or am I going to talk next? I can't tell.
Oh, it's so awkward.
Yeah, it's much easier to have an in-person conversation for sure. So, look, you've got all kinds of stuff happening. I'm super pumped to see the new stuff.
Thanks, Rick. I appreciate that.
Let us know when stuff's coming out, so we'll put it on blast. I know Max is always ready to put cool stuff on blast. So, you've got a lot of experience. You gave some advice about working with videographers. What about any other advice? Let's say somebody, really wants to get more into their music and really, start doing some of the stuff that you're doing. They want to be, a singer-songwriter, or they want to be, a bigger artist. What's some advice you could give them?
I believe that everybody's path is kind of a little different. So first things first is whatever is working for you, stick with that.
Yeah.
And grow that till you can't grow it anymore. And then slowly drift off into something else. Like, for instance, I like the virtual thing, the live thing, I just couldn't get with it. And I'm more like personable when it comes down to things. So having that as an option and me, I ran out of that resource. Now I have to drift off into this. So I'm working harder and harder to try to make sure all my virtual stuff and internet stuff is savvy.
Yeah.
But work on the main things that you can, that you build that up, and then slowly get into something else. Don't just try to have 16 things on your plate.
Right. And not do any of them very well, right?
Yeah. The multitasking is a whole myth.
Yeah.
It's a myth. It's not real.
Yeah.
It's
right.
If you're not putting 100% into something, then you're not going to get 100% out of it.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's very true.
Secondly, I will also suggest that go big. Don't put your music on SoundCloud.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Find a digital distributor to put your music on, and then go from there. So I don't have to ask you hey, where's your music? I would love to be able to find it on my streaming sources, like Apple Music or Spotify. You know, that sets the tone for how serious you are. Yeah. When it's on, I have nothing against SoundCloud. Yeah. But those million streams and stuff like that doesn't benefit you at the end of the day.
Yeah. I noticed they've got some kind of a new model they're trying to get into, so paid kind of stuff, and it'll be interesting to see where it goes.
I would love to see where it goes. I've been selling my music digitally for about maybe 5 years now, and I love the results. I do.
That's good.
Yeah, and stay consistent. Yeah. If you're like, man, I want to be a rapper. I want to be a singer. Don't just say it, mean it, and then follow the steps.
Consistency is key, right?
Consistency is key.
Keep putting stuff out. Content, music.
And for a new artist, network.
Yeah, that's so big. It's huge.
It's sickening how much you got to network.
Yeah.
I appreciate the people who reach out to me and, they want to know, hey, Yada, what can I do to do this better? Or how can I grow my audience and here and there and there? That's another thing. Be yourself.
Yeah.
Be yourself, because
please.
Yourself has been here for time amount of years, and people want to see yourself amplified. They don't want to see you being a different person.
No doubt.
Be yourself. It's so much more rewarding.
Yeah, I love that advice. I think that's super solid. Listen up.
Thank you. Yeah, guys.
She knows what she's talking about.
Just a little bit.
So. We've been asking this is kind of the question that we always kind of lead out with. It's I've been asking it since the shutdown.
Okay.
And I like to hear the results, but we still have some uncertainty right now. you know, going into the winter and stuff. I know we were talking earlier about how like, oh man, summer's over.
Oh,
I mean, yeah, it's already getting down to like 50 something
Quick.
degrees at night. Like it happened like one day. Yeah, it was just like that. I was like, Michigan, damn.
Yeah. I actually came back from Texas where it was like 80, 90. And then when I got here, I was like, woo.
Yeah. Yeah.
63.
Yeah, it got chilly fast. So it's like that feels uncertain to me because, you know, we've been doing the outdoor things and that makes people feel more comfortable. We're working on an indoor venue.
Yeah.
A collaboration with somebody locally that
you told me about this.
Yeah, we're still kind of keeping it on the down low, but so we're working on some things because we want to keep the music going in one way or another and you know, up the streaming game a little bit and still find a way to get performers to perform and people get paid. But there's uncertainty right now, like industry wise, like society and everything. But what do you think is certain right now? I know there's always the pause, but it could be anything though. It doesn't have to be about the industry.
What's certain is real music. I feel like this is a time that people could just be a little more genuine with their writing process and even get an opportunity to like record. Really, right now you should be building up your content like crazy. You should be working on a lot of content, and I strongly suggest that people don't drop albums or EPs right now because of me as a consumer. Until you've reached the plateau where that's rewarding for you monetarily,
right?
You're giving me too much. I'm like, dude, I can't. I don't want to listen to 15, 20 songs. I really want something I can hone in on.
A whole record,
Yeah, just give me a song that I can just jam to, and that circulates beyond me, beyond Ypsilanti, beyond Michigan. You know, touch everybody, touch the world. But it's just that consistency of building the content. Build the content.
Yeah, now is the time to build content, and especially going into the winter too, right?
Yeah.
It's like we're all going to be kind of inside.
In the house.
Yeah.
I mean,
or in wherever the studio.
Yeah,
or
but
whatever.
you're in, and a lot of people can't be where you are.
Right.
So you got to really figure it out to the point where it's beneficial for you.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
Well, what I've seen though is like people being really innovative and doing innovative things, and like you know, you keep pushing forward, you keep doing projects, you're working with your band and your producers and your videographers, so it's inspiring to watch.
Oh, thank you.
And you know, we appreciate the fact that you guys come here and do your thing, and we're glad to be able to do this. This is a ton of fun. So
thank you. This was fun. I'm glad we had this opportunity.
Yeah.
Just to throw out a drop for Grove Studios, you guys have to come here. I don't see any other reasons besides like you have a home studio. Other than that, for any type of rehearsals, you can record podcasts here. You can bring your entire punk band here to record whatever. Like, this is the spot. This is a very low key area. It's 24 hours. Like, you can't lose here.
Yeah.
And you got snacks when you walk in. You got to pay for them.
We do have snacks.
They do offer snacks when you get here. You know what I'm saying?
Snacks are important. You get hungry when you're rehearsing.
Exactly.
We have snacks and water.
Grove Studios is where it's at. I strongly suggest that. Even rappers, DJs, if you're into podcasts, if you have a full band, this is where you need to be.
Yeah. And
look at 24 Hours On. Hey, Abe.
Shout out. 365 days a year.
Yeah, buddy.
You can come in on Christmas Eve and record if you want to.
And I like that because you guys have it to where it's key entry.
Yeah.
And I know that works really good for you guys. It's like, I don't have to be there to let somebody in all the time.
Yep.
Somebody wants to record at 12 midnight to 5 in the morning. That you don't even have to be here. Like, that's one of the coolest things ever.
And we also know that, like, you know, people work different. You know, I mean, when you're a musician, you probably have another job as you're trying to build your career. Mm-hmm. So you might work odd hours. So you know,
and it's the only time you're available is 5 o'clock in the morning.
Or starting at midnight might make a lot of sense for you. So that's what we try to do. So I really appreciate the shout out.
Oh, no problem.
It means
I love
a lot
this
to
place,
us.
Man.
We built it because we just always thought it should exist, and
As it should.
and it's brought. And then what's so cool is like we met so many people because of it.
Yeah.
You know, and
me too. In passing.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
You're like, oh, you record here. What's your name? And what do you do? Man, that's all.
Oh, and
that's the best
let's
part.
when we can do tours, let's do a tour together or whatever. You know, that kind
Yeah.
of stuff. That's the stuff that we, you know, those are like the intangibles, right? Like this is brick and mortar, but like all of that stuff, like the community stuff, was always at the heart of it too. Was that was one of the things that we loved about it. Like going
Right.
back to the collaborations, like maybe new collaborations will happen.
Yeah.
Because you run into somebody and you're like, oh hey, and then
And
who
it
knows
all
what
started
what
here.
happens next?
Who knows?
Yeah,
You're at the Grammy sitting next to somebody you met at Grove Studio
facts.
because they took some chips you wanted
Love
to buy.
that. I want to. I want to hear that story when it happens for sure.
Claiming it. It was put in the
Yeah.
atmosphere.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you for coming by.
Thank you
and
for
taking the
having
time to do this.
me.
I'm glad we finally got to do it.
Yeah.
We'll be looking out. Check out. Oh, tell everybody where to find you online. Where should they go when they want to listen to
Alright,
music and all that? I mean, you're on Spotify and everything, but
Yeah, all of my music is available on Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you listen to music, wherever you stream. Look up Kenyatta. Kenyatta is spelled Kenyatta. Rashon is spelled Rashon. I'm also on Instagram and Facebook under Kenyatta Rashon. I am very active. I do a lot of follows, and I like to see other people, being inspirations as myself. So
yeah, perfect.
let's work. Let's network.
That's right. So get on there. If you didn't see the performance earlier that we streamed, go back to our Facebook page, or you can go to YouTube and watch it. Highly recommend putting it on your sound bar or your speakers or some great headphones, because the sound is excellent. And it was an amazing performance.
Thank you.
As always.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
You guys reached out, and it was just like in the weirdest times, but I was like, I'm doing it.
For sure.
I want to do it.
Yeah. And speaking of events, we've next Saturday we're going to have the Equinox party. We do it every year. It's going to be music all day. We got to do it a little bit differently this year, so we're going to have like sort of these mini concerts all day long. So it'll be like pockets of 3 bands. Those 3 bands will go, and people can buy tickets they can buy tickets for the whole day, in-person tickets, but we're limited because
So many
Washtenaw
people during
County,
performances.
we have to have less than 25 people.
Yeah.
So the tickets are limited, but we'll be live streaming. We'll be recording, and there'll be more interviews to come. But if you want to come out and just chill for a little while, we'll be here.
You said next Saturday?
Yeah, next Saturday. That's the 19th, I think.
19th.
So yeah.
I'll be in Cancun.
Oh well, that.
I'll see
Oh
it
no, you
online.
should definitely come here. You should not go to Cancun. That doesn't sound like any fun.
You sound like my mom. Like, why are you traveling? I'm like, I gotta go.
Yeah. I don't
Gotta
blame
go.
you. I feel that. Yeah. I got out of Dodge a bunch of times this summer. I was just up north, but still.
Still, do
Cancun sounds
something.
amazing.
I haven't really been anywhere all summer. Being cautious.
You'll be
but-
fine. Put on your mask, take the plane, you'll be good.
Yep, that's right.
Cool. Well, Kenyatta Rashon, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me, Rick.
Thank you, everyone, for
Shout out to
watching.
Grove Studios.
Yeah, shout out, and make sure you check out that video
That's right.
because it was awesome. All right.
Great live performance.
Peace out, everybody. Have a good
See
night.
ya. That was fun.